Ways to increase the value of property. Let's get into the video. Now, I'm going to address this topic in two sections, which will be how to maximize the value of property and then how to increase the value of property, a house specifically. Here at RPS Jamaica Reid Property Solutions, valuations or appraisals are among some of the services that we provide. And naturally, if you're within a certain industry or space for a certain amount of years, you'll naturally start to pick up on certain inside information. So today, I'll be guiding you through 4 ways to maximize the value of property and then 1 main way to increase the value of property. And you'll understand why I framed it like that if you watch the whole video. So be sure to stick around. So let's start out with how to maximize the value of a house. One of the main areas, arguably the central area within any home, that can sort of act as a clear indicator of the state or condition of the property is the kitchen. Advertising a property, for example, it's one of the first pictures that will come up, or it's usually one of the first areas in the home that sort of sticks out. So people value the kitchen. Therefore, investing in improving the condition of the kitchen can help to maximize the value of the property. With that being said, you also have to be very careful and aware in terms of how you go about spending and investing in improving the kitchen. Well, let's say you want to invest in improving the condition of the kitchen and you go ahead and you spend 10 million Jamaican dollars on new cupboards and new countertops and everything. It doesn't necessarily mean that that $10 million investment will be added to the property value. At a certain point in terms of trying to increase the value of the property, renovations and improvement can only go so far, and then other factors will start to come into play. So now you might be thinking, well, why is that? If I spend $10 million to fix up a certain area of the property so that it appears more valuable or more aesthetic, why would that renovation cost not be reflected in the value of the property? The answer is very simple. There's a difference between the perceived value of a certain property and the actual market value of the property. And the market value is simply how much are similar properties within the area or in and around that area being sold for. So that's why I mentioned earlier that at a certain point, in terms of from the professional's point of view, many other factors will start to come into play. So just to wrap up this point, doing some renovations to the kitchen, for example, will help to maximize the value of the property. But you have to be very cautious in terms of over improving or overspending and then just expecting the valuation surveyor to add whatever cost that might have been to the property value. That's not how it works. The second way to improve the value of your house is improving the condition of the bathrooms. And that might be as simple as ensuring that fixtures are functional and well maintained. Again, it doesn't need to be fancy because remember, you have to always be cautious of over improving and overspending. So focus on number 1, ensuring functionality, and then number 2, ensuring that it's well maintained. The third way to maximize on the value of the property is to pay close attention to the ceiling and the roof. Again, can't stress this enough. It doesn't need to be fancy, it just needs to be functional and well maintained. So consider things like reducing or repairing any leaks or cracks as much as possible. And finally, the flooring, meaning the tiling and the finishes and the overall exterior appeal of the property. Flooring and tiling is relatively self-explanatory, but in terms of the exterior of the property, things the surveyor might be looking for would be, for example, if it's well secured or fully secured with a gate or fencing or walls, for example. And other aspects such as, is it paved, does it have walkways, small things like that. All 4 ways that we just went over are ways of maximizing the value of property, but always be cautious of over improving and overspending. Now, how should we go about increasing the value of property? What's the best way to do it? Well, in my opinion, the best way to do it is to add a room to the house, for example, in a very cost-effective way. So let's say, for example, you have a 2-bedroom house and you're looking to make some additional investment into the property. Adding an extra bedroom, shifting that 2-bedroom house to being a 3-bedroom house would be the best strategy in terms of increasing the value of the property. So that's the end of the video. See you in the next one.